Hey,
Hey, what the hell is hey?
I don't know. It's for horses. But anyway, it is Friday afternoon. It's actually kind of warm and a bit humid here in Atlanta,
Uh,
but it's still beautiful outside. And of course, it's beautiful inside because, well, I'm here. And who are you again?
the Bo won the cold with John Calder, Ice Lawson, every person's dream. I'm here.
Not this person's dream, but
Much better. Much better.
I'm Brent Leary.
Boring.
Yes, well, we would first like to apologize right off the bat for the delay in the show starting because your boy, the bold one, the cool one, John Colroyce Lawson,
Oh God.
doesn't really know what
You
to do
don't
with
need to
technology.
tell everybody's business. You
Dude
only want
does
to tell my business.
just does not know how to do any of this, and we've been doing this for how long again? Huh?
Ugh, way
Long
too long. Way too long, bro. Long time.
long. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Anyway, hey, we're back. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been around. It's conference season, man. Things are starting to get crazy. Traveling and all that kind of stuff. Like next week, I don't even think I'll be able to be doing this next week because the first part of the week is in Vegas for ServiceNow's conference, and then from Vegas, I got to go to Miami for a Creatio conference. So it's this traveling, this conference thing, man. Let's talk about this conference stuff, man. You go and speak at a lot of conferences, right?
Yep. What
And a
about
lot of the people that follow you, your minions, I like to call them. They attend a lot of events, right? I mean, most of the people in business, you have to go to events, right? I mean, there's no getting around this stuff, right?
it? Yeah, you have to go to events at some point.
I mean, we had that 3 year kind of hiatus because of the pandemic where everything was kind of virtual.
Yep.
That stuff is gone now, man. You
No.
got to be out.
They they didn't let the cage out, the dogs out.
You
Yes.
got to be out. And I think there's actually more events that I'm getting invited to and going to now than
Than ever.
before the pandemic. It's like crazy. So let me ask you, what really makes a good event from your perspective? Like,
Yeah.
what makes you say, "Oh man, this was such a good thing. I'm glad I went."
It's usually the stuff after the event that I like the best, or not after the event, but after the sessions are
The
over.
socializing, the networking,
The
that kind of.
networking, the parties, those kind of things. I really dig. You know, um, uh, content. There's only so much content that you can really take, and there's only so many people that give you actionable content. So, and then most of the conferences, well, especially your kind of conferences, they're just talking about here's our new release and here's what we're going to do next time and applaud for this rollout, and it's like, yeah, that's so boring. But anyway, it is what it is.
So basically, you really go to stuff despite the conference. You go to all the things that surround the conference.
Yeah, I go because of who's going to be there, who's going to be in the room, who's going to be on stage, and what kind of parties we going to do. Who's the opening act?
The opening. All right. Well, first of all, let's say hello or hola
Hola.
to Thomas.
Oh, you know what I did not do? I did not stream this to my audience. I don't know if
You
I
know,
can anymore.
you probably can go ahead and give it a shot.
But
We can
yeah, go
still
ahead. We'll talk
we'll
to
still
Thomas
talk.
while we're.
It's always I don't think I've ever heard Thomas say hola, but I wonder what hola sounds like with a German accent. That would be kind of interesting to find out. Anyway, so you basically go in spite of the
Yeah,
it's like you go for the people, the ambiance, the camaraderie. But of course, if you're speaking, then you do have to do that part. Do you feel an obligation? Let me ask you this, because I want to dig into this stuff, and anybody who goes to a lot of conferences, let us know why you go, what you think of those conferences. What are the things that really drive you to go to the conference? I'm just curious. I'll share what what it is with me. But yeah, I'm when you speak at a conference, do you feel a little bit more obligated to actually pay attention to what's going on at the conference, like the content?
I don't feel more. I don't. No, but I don't feel any less. So, you know.
Well, how could you feel any less?
Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's like I mean, I pay attention and until I don't. You know, I'm not going to miss something good. Let's put it like that.
What, what,
If
what,
it's
what,
good, I'm gonna be paying attention.
when you pay attention until you do. All right. So, how long does it take for you to get to the? Oh, this is not interesting at
Yeah,
all.
you got a good 5 minutes.
Man.
No, I mean, you got to grab them. You got to grab people's
What?
attention
All right.
for
So, what do
5
people
minutes.
need to? What does the speaker need to do to
First
grab
things
you?
first. Never get on stage and say, "Is this? Can you hear me in the back?" Oh my god. Ah, this is the worst. Ah. The
So,
other thing I hate is when people fawn over the presenter or the conference at the beginning too. Oh, thanks so much for allowing me to come onto your stage. And oh man, I'm like, dude, just get to the content. God damn. You can tell them that shit back in the back room. I mean, come on. I hate that.
all
Those
right.
kind of things, you know what I'm saying? 5 minutes in, if that's the stuff you're starting with, I'm already out. I'm like, oh, I gotta pee.
So if they come on stage and say, "Can you hear me all right?"
Yeah,
That's a no no.
that's a no-no.
But what if they're literally asked? They're not. It's not a shtick. What if they just want to make sure?
What are you gonna do about it?
Scream. I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is they've got effing, sound people in the audience. That's where the damn soundboard is. If they can't hear you, they'll know that they can't hear you
So why do you think people say that? Is it just a
because they're
nervous thing, or
idiots.
damn, that's kind of harsh. I mean,
I don't know. I
it
have
happens
no
a
idea.
lot. It happens. I'm
It
thinking,
really does.
or maybe that's just a way to try to get
No, it's the
some
worst.
response
It's the
from the
worst
audience.
opening ever.
All right,
Worst
Thomas
opening
has
ever.
another one. I know that I am standing between you and whatever comes next,
Oh yeah, yeah,
bar
yeah.
or dinner, or yeah, okay.
Yeah, that one doesn't bother me quite as much, but I like it when they do it near the end or when they're closing, because I'll use that.
I see people use it at the beginning. It's like, hey, I know
Yeah,
I'm.
it's like, yeah, I'm the last speaker before your lunch, and it's like, dude, I already know that. You're not making it better for yourself, right?
Oh,
Those
okay.
things I
Thomas has
can't
got
stand.
another one. Hardcore. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Now this is a definite turn off for me.
yeah. Well, that's what Brent does all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm known for.
He's known for it.
Hardcore. Yeah, like you just get on stage and like within a minute or two, you're already saying, and at the end of this, I'm going to let you know how you can get this. It'll be in front of. Just hold on. Like people are like, "What? We need it now." Nobody's asking for that, man.
I've got a lot of tricks too, man. I got tricks.
All
I got
right.
real tricks.
Give me a trick for for my next speaking gig, whenever it is.
Uh-huh.
Give me some tricks that'll make
Okay.
people love me as much as they love you.
Oh, that'll never happen, bro. Sorry, you set the bar way too high. Um, but one of the things is for real, right? If 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 you have this, if you have all your talking points about yourself in your intro, and the speaker or the announcer does that, you don't need to do it again,
Right,
right? So
right.
one of my tricks is I have the slide and then I skip over it. It's like, hey, he already said all that stuff. So let's just move on. I do that all the time. Even though I know they're going to do it, I put it in there on purpose so people feel like I'm respecting their time. I think more than anything, you've got to respect the time and the attention that you're requesting from people. That's the only thing that they're going to be able to pay you is with their attention. And we
Right.
talk about attention and how important that is and what that commodity is all the time. And you got to respect that, man. And so if you're spending, I hate people that get back up there and do their whole slide again when the announcer just said the same shit
How often does that happen?
all the time, all the time,
Wow.
all the time. Because it's not about you. I don't really care anything. At the end, you can tell me what your URL is and how to follow you. That's
You know
fine.
what? You just said something. So that's the equivalent when you're watching on YouTube or whatever videos. You don't know this. You just come across this video. You hit the button, and before they could say anything, it's like, all right, if you could like this video and subscribe. Like, you haven't given me a reason. I haven't even got a chance to see if this is worthy of that.
Yeah. Please like and subscribe.
Oh, so that's kind of
2
the
seconds
equivalent.
in.
That's right. All right.
Hit the thumbs up.
Give me some of your good stuff.
No, I'm not giving you my good.
Give me one good, a good one. Give me a good
Well,
one.
I mean, look, you got to hook them right at the beginning.
All right.
Right. So, I mean, you've got to do something that kind of stands out and is a little bit jarring. I mean, you know me, I'm a comedian, so I'll do a joke or something up front, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, what's been one of your best jokes that just killed everybody and just got you on to the biggest role that you've ever been on when you were speaking?
you know what? I got this cat jumping.
Cat jumping.
Yeah. It's like there's this video of this cat and he's walking across the windowsill and then he's getting ready to jump and then he jumps and he misses the landing and he falls totally down.
So how do you get into that? How do you get into that? How do you set that up?
I say, I'm going to have a whole lot of stuff. Are you ready? Are you ready to get in? And they be like, yeah, I'm ready. And then I start playing that video. And then I'm like, okay, well, I don't want you to do it like that. What I'm saying? That kind of vibe. So, I mean, something like that really helps. Oh, you know what I hate? Oh, my God. This is something, maybe it's just me, but I hate people that put GIFs on their slides and let them play over and over again. That drives me crazy because it's only funny the first time you see it. But if you keep spinning while you're talking, it becomes a distraction to what you're saying.
Okay.
You ever seen that?
If I did, I wasn't as sensitive to it as you are, apparently.
Oh, it drives me. I got little things. There's little things, man. There's little things. I don't know.
How do you know when it's not going well?
I've never had that happen.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I knew that was. I should have known.
You know what? Yeah, it's like recently. Honestly, I was at it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Really, I was at a event, and it was a they sell truck parts for Ford diesel trucks, right? And so I walk in the room and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of trucker hats in here. Right? And
were any of them red with the letters M?
No, we had no red, but it's hanging from the mirror in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, right? So anyway, the funny thing, so that when I get there and I get my badge, they give me the bag and the t-shirt and the bag, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm talking to the host and because you want to talk to the host, tell what's the vibe, what's their level of understanding, whatever. Especially if you're talking technology, which 90% of the time I'm talking about some new tech or something, right? And so I'm getting the vibe, and then she's like, well, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to go change my clothes. She's like, oh, no, you look fine. Right. And I went in the bathroom and took the t-shirt out the bag, put the t-shirt on,
What t-shirt is this again?
It was just a trucker, like Ford F-150 or something like that on but it said the event,
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the event t-shirts. So I just went and put that on under my button down that I had. And then what I did, and this was on purpose, is when I got on stage, I opened. I already had the shirt open, but when I got on stage, I took my shirt off completely, and I did it in my t-shirt, and so that allowed me to be a part of that audience instead of being an other. You know what I'm saying? Either though I am an other, obviously, but I think there's a psychological thing, and I never forget. Can't remember who it was, but it was one of the old school speakers. He said he would always come out shirt, tie, you know, uh, everything, and he would when he start talking, he would start rolling up his sleeves and loosen his tie because he was letting them know that he's, you know, like them. And I
Mm-hmm.
never forget that. And I was like, wow, I get it. I get it. So that was those are little things. You want to be a part of the audience at some level.
What up, Luis?
Hey Luis, what's up, brother? I saw you did something at your church the other day on LinkedIn. Good job. It was just good to see you in front of an audience.
Is he Luis? Let us know. Since we're talking about conferences and where you go, and if you're a speaker, uh, kind of tips on winning the audience over. Share anything you have in the comments, man. I'm very interested. Matt, I'll tell you.
He's a
I'm
presenter, yes.
I'm going to tell you why this is bubbling up.
Yeah, I can't wait because he's got a reason.
Well, besides me getting ready to go to like 6, 7 events in the next 5 weeks or something like that. Oh, here he is. He says, yes, sir. Taught them how to do ice bath breath.
Breath work meditation.
What the hell is that? I don't even know what that
He
is.
takes ice baths. I don't know
Oh shoot, really?
what is the ugh.
Wait a minute. So when you're speaking, that's one of your icebreakers is ice baths. Is that?
No, he said that's what he was teaching when I saw him in that photo.
Oh,
He was
okay.
teaching the youth. He was teaching in front of the youth, and he's teaching them about how to do breath work meditation with ice baths.
Whoa.
Right.
Did
Because
you
see,
do it?
I heard this that like as soon as you jump in the ice water, it
Your
takes your
breath
breath
leaves
away.
you, right?
Yeah.
So did you do this?
No, I ain't man. Are you kidding me? Hell
Why
to
not?
no.
Don't you want to
Hell
experience what Luis is
to
offering?
the
Damn.
no.
Okay. I thought you were boys. Jeez. Well, all right. So, Luis, tell us why you go to conferences.
Why do you go to conferences?
Why do you go? And what makes you walk away from a conference saying,
That
that
was a
was
good
so
one.
worth my time and money, and it's just great.
Other than John Lawson was on stage.
Well,
Other than
in spite of that, those kind of things. All right, yeah. So he's teaching his
that.
kids. Okay, yeah. Oh, for prep for final.
Oh wow.
That's even more specific.
Wow.
All
That's
right, that's
interesting.
kind of interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, that is kind of interesting.
yeah.
That is kind of interesting.
All right, so yeah, Luis Thomas, you're out on the circuit. Let us know why you go and why you would walk away saying this was awesome, this is great, it was worth it. I'm totally interested because me and my partner Paul Greenberg, we're going to do our actual physical event later this year, and we want it to be good, and we want it to be
You got to have a good DJ.
well. That's that's already covered, dog.
Well, that's what I was about to say. If you're going to do it, then that's going to be trash.
Yeah. You just can keep your opinions to yourself.
Okay. All
So
right.
actually, Luis, it's not a call. This is show, Luis. Sorry, Luis. This is a show. Do we have guests on the show?
We have never had we had Paul on here one time.
That doesn't count, really.
Yeah, that doesn't count, really, does it?
Seems like
That
I don't know. It's up to you. You want to?
Oh, I don't mind if you. Yeah, I mean, I'd love
all right, Luis. So this is all right. We're gonna do a little something new. Thomas, this goes for you too. You come on and you can tell us specifically.
Tell us.
Not just in the comments, but tell us specifically why you go to a conference, what makes a conference worth it to you, and what irritates you about conferences.
Mm.
So Luis,
what
if
do
you
you
want to
like?
do that,
What don't you like?
yeah, exactly. And you're connected to Luis, so you can shoot him the link, right?
He's on LinkedIn.
Yeah, aren't you connected to him on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
You can just cut and paste that
Oh,
the invite link over. Yeah,
what?
the one I
Let me
sent you.
find. Let me find.
In the meantime, Thomas is saying the ability to interact with company execs, customers, partners, customer success stories. What makes me go away? An inability to do that. Yeah, see,
What?
we're
An
that
inability
makes
to do
sense. Thomas, if you want to come on camera, absolutely. So we can have a bit of a conversation. We could say hola to you first off, and hear how you.
what? Here we go. I'm finding you, sir.
Luis says I go to conferences to connect with others. I don't like people always selling me stuff. Hard sell, and
Uh,
yet and still you are connected to John Rice Lawson. That's
I've never sold Luis anything. Oh
that's
my
so funny.
god.
I enjoy it.
Okay.
So Thomas, I'll shoot you. Yeah,
There we
I'll
go.
shoot you the link, and
Why can't I?
Cold Rice will shoot Luis the link, and we'll see what we get here. This is
All right.
a little different here.
Oh,
So
I see. I see. Okay. I know
yeah,
how
you
to
got
do
the
it.
invite, the link, I sent you.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
and I'm sending
But
it
it's
to
okay. So
Thomas.
go. Boom. I don't know. I'm probably doing it right in there for everybody in their world. You see, it's in the damn.
Dude, you should have just sent it directly in LinkedIn messages like I'm
I don't
doing.
know how to use LinkedIn.
Oh,
It's just like, yeah, LinkedIn's crap. I don't know how to use it. You don't know how to use LinkedIn.
Are you connected to him on Facebook?
Yeah.
Send it to him via
Well,
Facebook.
you know what? I clicked on his. Okay, there it is. Shut up.
My goodness.
It's on his profile. There's a little thing that says message.
Yeah, that little
How
message.
about
You know what it's
the-
for?
No, but when I push it, it doesn't do anything. Oh, there's never mind.
Good Lord.
No, it's
And afterwards, we will teach you about how to use Messenger.
Why? Why do I need to know this?
You could text. Luis says text him.
Why do I
Either
need
way,
to know how to use?
because
Oh,
LinkedIn
there
is.
it goes. All right, here it goes. It
Jesus.
finally popped up.
All right, I'm glad it popped
All
up.
right, there you go. It's in your message in LinkedIn.
Well, in the meantime,
The website.
welcome Thomas Weaver Knight.
Hey, gentlemen.
What's up?
You got to say hola, man. You got to,
Okay, hola.
hola. Okay, that's.
So now we need a Spanish speaker to.
I don't know, with a name like Luis Rosario. I mean,
Yeah, Luis.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could throw in a little bit of accents.
All right, Thomas. So,
Oh my gosh.
tell us exactly. Well, you did tell. So maybe you can explain a little bit more about why the ability to interact with company execs and customers and partners. But I know we go to a lot of the same conferences, and a lot of us analysts, influencer type, whatever you want to call it, we really do depend on getting one-on-one access if we possibly can. But why is that so important?
This gives the inside information often. If you promise to not directly publish it on whatever media you have, yeah. And that gives a better understanding than the high-level information that you get on the show floor, basically, or from stage. This is mostly something that is geared towards marketing, anyways. Nobody says I'm crap, right? Well, they don't say it in private as well, but there you can hear a bit more of the truth.
All right, we're gonna bring Luis in. Hey, Luis.
Hey, Luis.
We can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
He's got bubbles.
Yeah, that was nice. You got
Oh,
bubbles.
well, that's fairly easy.
We're not
Can you guys hear me?
Now
I got
we
you
can.
now.
Yeah,
now
no,
we do.
that's like it. That effect is if you hold a certain gesture.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it was.
I
So
thought it was just for
like-
Zoom, though. Well, you're doing this on StreamYard. I've never
That's
seen
Apple's
it on
AI.
there you
That's
go.
Apple's
See,
AI, yeah.
I taught you about
But you can
Messenger.
switch it
You
off.
learned about Messenger. Yeah.
I don't.
So
What? Do it.
You can
There you
switch it
go.
off.
I don't.
I'm
I
not
don't.
switching
get
it up,
I
man.
didn't know you could do that on StreamYard. I know you could do it on Zoom, but
Yeah,
I had
I'm
no
coming
idea.
in with a bang to the show here.
Yeah, well, first of
Wow.
all, it's a pleasure meeting you, and
Thank you.
my sincere apologies for, I guess, knowing John Colterice Lawson for as long as you have. I know it's been a burden and it's probably a struggle, but thanks for joining us.
Nah,
And
it's yeah.
why? Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself because I don't know you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Where do I start? I guess I'll start with John,
Oh,
since he's
God.
like our common friend here. I've known John. What is it, John? Man,
Like
I met you
15
like
years.
15 years ago, man. Yeah, time
Yeah.
15
flies.
years.
I met him when I was working for morningcoach.com, cool podcast, JB Glossinger, and I was working for JB doing events and whatnot. And John was a friend of JB, and that was it. Like we just kind of stayed friends since then.
Well,
Learning
I
all
got to
about
tell you,
John.
I already kind of question your judgment and character just from what you just
Oh
told me.
yeah, I've
Okay.
messed up plenty of times. Uh, yeah, no, but John's really cool.
Ah,
Well, you gotta love John for who he is. I mean, he's still a Falcons fan. Somehow he's
Yeah,
still he's
that's
you
rough.
know yeah, it's rough, exactly.
oh
Especially for
man.
that last Super Bowl, man.
Oh,
I sent him a bunch of flowers for that last Super Bowl. That where they were at. That was heartbreaking.
oh, that was
But
horrible. Don't
yeah,
bring
no, I've
that
known
up. Don't bring that up.
I know. No, I'm just kind of,
Too
just
late.
sharing your grief.
Too late.
But no, I'm admiring your I'm just admiring your resiliency because I'm on the
Yeah.
same boat. I'm a big Liverpool football fan, soccer fan
Mm.
from England. It's
Ah,
like my thing. And our coach, who's our beloved coach, he's leaving this season, and he announced it, and it was like, wow, we got to win the league, and my team has totally collapsed, and they're not
mm.
winning anything so it's been heartbreaking, but so I know what it is. Anyways, back to my story. Yeah, so I've known John, and we've just stayed friends since then. Every time I'm in Atlanta, I hit him up. He's also cool friends with another good friend of mine. Well, his artist name is W Dwayne Wright, and Jabari Graham. Shout out to them. They actually just
Actually,
they did a
Brent knows
documentary.
his girlfriend, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Huh?
wife.
Are they
His
wife
wife. His
wifing?
wife and the mother of his child too, man. You
Okay,
got a
well
lot
there
of
you go.
updating
See,
too.
long time,
Wait a minute, who are
long
you
You know,
talking?
time.
I don't know who
you
you're
know
talking about.
Kat Gadoko?
Oh, I
Yeah,
met her. Yeah, she did our pictures like what, about
exactly,
10 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
Atlanta's
Small
small.
world.
Atlanta's pretty big, but it's also small. Like
That's
it's
Yeah,
true.
amazing.
small
Yeah.
world.
So Dub, Dwayne, good friend of mine too. He also check it out. They have I don't know John if you knew he had a documentary on Hulu for his show Art Beats and Lyrics. So he does a traveling hip hop art show with Jack Daniels, and they just did a
Awesome.
documentary, yeah,
That's
on
cool.
Hulu.
All
It
right,
was
Very
really
cool.
really good.
this has been really fascinating. Let's get into this conference stuff. So
Yes, yes.
tell us about now. Do you are also a speaker at conferences and things like that?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I just do I do a lot of speaking. I've gone to Toastmasters. Last night, that whole thing last night was for my church, and I was helping them prepare for a final exam, and I was teaching them breathwork stuff. So
Cool.
I do technically speaking, yeah, you
But
could
you
say
put
I
on
do.
events.
Yes, I've put on events. So that's where I kind of met John doing the events with Morning
Yeah.
Coach. I used to like MC, produce, promote, the director of getting stuff done. That's what it
Damn.
was my title at one point. And
All
so
right.
yeah,
So
I've been
let me put you in the attendee chair instead of the organizer chair for events. What
yeah.
makes for you? What makes a good event? What makes you, or even a good session at an event, or a good speaker, like somebody, or a session that makes you just sit up and focus and take note and keeps you interested? What is that about for you?
That's a good question. Um yeah, because I've been to so many. Um it depends on because there's breakouts. Are you asking about break? Because there's also the different dynamics between breakouts and then
Mm,
the main
Mm.
stage, right?
let's
Because I
keep it
just
the
went to
main.
the main stage.
Yeah, let's keep the main,
Yeah.
like, 'cause the thing that usually is supposed to draw everybody's attention is the keynote or the general session. breakouts, of course, can do some of that, but the thing that gets pushed the most are the keynotes and the general sessions. So what kind of keynote, general session speaker makes it for you? Like keeps you there, keeps you in the palm of their hand as they speak?
I think it's also the topic, but if we're talking about format, I like fireside chats. They're kind of really chill, like having kind of engagement. Also, if you can engage the crowd, like having a Q&A in the sense, that's pretty cool. For me, when I do presentations, I always ask the makeup of the audience. And that's something that I learned through JB actually, is always like asking, hey, what's the makeup of the audience? What are their pain points? What are their needs? So even if a speaker is presenting, whether it be a fireside chat or actually a presentation, they can actually have maximum effect of what everybody's trying to achieve. You know what I'm saying? I think that's beneficial when you're doing a conference, is understanding why people are showing up.
Unless it's scripted, the fireside chat.
What was that?
If the fireside chat or any chat whatsoever is too scripted, then, or
Comes off
obviously
boring.
scripted, then the
Comes
value
Yeah.
diminishes again.
Yeah.
Thomas,
I
you wanted
remember.
to- Oh,
I
go ahead.
remember. No, I remember I went to a event and it was Will Smith, and it was an
Oh, boy.
IBM event, and it was
He didn't
Will
slap
Smith.
anybody?
Huh? He didn't
He didn't
slap
slap
anybody.
anybody?
This is pre-slap era. But
Tree slap.
I mean, they let like one of the VPs do the interview. It was hard. It was so bad that Will Smith just took over. He's like, you know what? Let me interview myself.
Was it on YouTube? Did it go?
It might have.
Yeah.
It might have.
Shaq has done stuff like that too.
Yeah, it's like, man, I hate when there's a really somebody you can't wait to see or hear from, and then you got somebody else on the other side that is just dead wood.
Oh. Yeah.
John, did Will Smith actually get interviewed on a topic that was related to the vendor and or the conference?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So that
What's
seems
the
like
value
that.
of that then?
I hate when that happens because
Somewhat.
it's like a disconnection. It's like, all right, I'm here for this event, and you've got this speaker who he might be or she might be known for something else. But like, for example, Shaq, everybody, of course, knows Shaq from basketball, from TV, from commercials. But Shaq has a really compelling story when it comes to business and investing and being like an early investor into Google. And, he put together a team and he uses that team in so many different ways. I hate when you have somebody like a Shaq or a Will Smith and you don't have a right person that draw all that kind of stuff out of them. It's a real
they haven't done
waste
their
of time.
homework.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, is really kind of understanding who your audience is and what they're trying to achieve. So, yeah.
Yep, I've seen it.
Now, Thomas, let me turn things to you because we're kind of similar. We're in kind of the same boat to a certain extent with what we do. One of the compelling or the things that make a conference for me, I'll just put it like that. It's not just the kind of getting the one-on-one access to these executives. Hey, you also got to look at it as an opportunity to try to make something out of those one-on-one interactions by way of how can I turn that one-on-one interaction into something down the road, like some sort of a paid engagement. How much do you go into a conference with that kind of mindset?
Should be every time.
Well, I follow John there. Should be every time, but I'm not business savvy enough for that, or too stupid, or whatever. So, but for me, I look at it as a learning opportunity. Part one, and part two is the opportunity to actually exert some influence, limited as it is. So now, my point of view, if I am able to show some value to vendor with this, then the engagements probably come, unless I get into a very greedy vendor that loves to take advice for free or advisory for free. So there are some of those as well, but in general, I think to some extent it's also about, as an as an analyst about showing some value, which then may or may not lead into engagement. So I'm not going with a hardcore selling mode into any vendor conference. That makes me.
You want to demonstrate in your limited time in front of an executive, let's say.
Yeah.
You want to demonstrate that we should have something come after this. I want to ask the right questions, and I also want to learn, but I also want to show them that I'm very interested and I know what's going on. And I think there may be some opportunities after this. I'm not trying to sell you right now, but I'm just trying to open the door to explore opportunities after the fact.
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's probably the same with a direct sales pitch.
All right, well, Luis and John too. How often are you able to do stuff like that? Like turn a short conversation or turn your presentation that's going out on the main stage, but then people come up to you and you're able to make something out of it after the fact. How often does that actually happen? Don't be giving me the look like, oh, it happens all the time for me.
I mean, come on.
Good, I'm doing something wrong.
I mean, come on. I mean, here's the thing. You never know who's in the audience. And once you leave that stage, you've taken a lot of attention and pointed it at yourself. And so when you start to do in the network and you find out what other people are doing, where they're at, and if there's a possibility to, do some joint work together, So I don't know. I don't know. I don't even remember what the question was. But anyway, I do take a lot of business away from conferences like that.
Well, that was part of it. That was, how often are you able to make that transition from presentation or meeting with a one-on-one exec to something? It might be immediate, it might be a week, a month, a year, but something actually comes out.
Here's one thing I'll tell you, man. I mean, in the world you guys play in a lot, the corporate world moves slow. So
yeah, that's absolutely
it's not like, I'll walk off stage at some conference, be like, man, I got a conference coming up in 2 months. Are you available? Kind of vibe. That'll happen. Whereas, the corporate thing, it's like, I'm really just trying to drop a seed. So when you're thinking about your planning or somebody you want to introduce us to, then that would, be a cool thing.
Yeah.
I think my input, obviously, I'm not gonna do many keynotes, if any at all. But when I used to plan the conferences, one of the biggest takeaway was the biggest takeaway that people would get wasn't really at the workshops or the keynote; it was at the bar. And even as an attendee, it was always at the bar or always doing something casual. And so that's one of the things, like for me right now, I'm planning a trip with friends of mine / mastermind kind of thing that we're gonna do in the fall. And I'm structuring it, with some formality, but I'm also doing a lot of more of leisure stuff. So we all can kind of connect. And I think people, because at the end of the day, think about it. People are working and they go to a conference and it's kind of like more work. But then when they kind of like just let go and release, that's when they relax. And then everybody's just connecting and just casually and having more deeper connections that way than just being so formal,
Absolute.
Yep.
Absolute.
That's it. I think so. So what has really worked? I'll start with the gold one, the bold one. Talk about the speaking stuff again, because I'm still kind of focused on the actual content of an event, which should be, I think it should be, and I'm probably wrong about it, it's like the main reason why you would go to a conference, but I'm going to take myself out of it and ask if you had to rank the reasons to go to a conference, whether it's content or the ecosystem around the the conference, the networking capabilities, the selling opportunities. How would you rank the importance of going to a conference? The things that are associated to the conference. How would you rank the most important one or two
of those that you just
Yeah,
pretty
I
much?
mean,
Yeah.
if
I mean,
if
definitely.
there are others, I mean, feel free.
No. It's still. I mean, hey, you didn't talk about the food.
You all right?
You know.
So, how the food is like a top 3 or 4 thing?
Man, bro, it
Mhm.
is.
What about the venue? The venue is a top 3 or 4 thing.
Somewhat. I mean, because usually, I mean, there's not that many great venues out there for large groups. So,
Mhm.
you know,
Let me
More
all
like
right. Let me make it
boxes,
easy
you know,
then.
like
Yeah.
so conference rooms that are
Out of the three, out of these three,
okay, these three.
content,
mhm,
networking opportunities,
mhm.
sales opportunities.
Hmm.
Rank those three, each of you. I'm really interested in this.
So you're asking out of those three, which is
Keep saying put them in order.
Yeah, just rank those. Which
in
of those
reference
three.
in reference to as an attendee, or is that as an
That would make
organizer?
you go
that
Oh, that would
that
make.
you would go to that you would go to and pay.
to
Oh,
go.
I got it. I got it off the bat instinctually.
Hmm.
Okay.
For me,
Okay. Yeah.
networking.
So
Mhm.
networking is the
One,
first and
Yeah,
foremost.
now
Okay.
networking because
Yeah.
especially nowadays with technology, you could get content left and right.
and then
Mhm.
next after
Yeah.
that,
What about access to the speakers too? That's kind of
well,
a
that's a
little different.
network.
It is, but most people and most people who speak like keynote speakers, they speak and then they're out of there. So you
Yeah.
don't really have any access to those
Right.
people.
Right.
Last time we met one of them at lunch. He made the mistake of not leave a table that was crowded by analysts.
So he got stranded. In other words.
Yeah, he got marooned. Yeah.
All right, so let me rephrase this. So content, networking, access to important people. Well, important to you,
Yes.
not to me, or just
Yeah.
important to you. Like some of these speakers, people fall over. Like there's
Yeah.
this one guy that really just fell all over himself because Gary Vee was at this event and he just had to get up and speak to him,
See-
and that kind of thing.
for a conference that I pay for attending.
Yes, yeah, that you're plunking down your not only your time but your money. So
Yeah, then it's networking and access for sales.
Yeah.
okay,
That's it.
okay.
Yeah, if I pay for it, if I get paid for it, it's different. Or if I
Okay,
get
so if
invited,
I pay
happens as
for
well,
it,
yeah. So,
if I pay for it, it's going to be content
Really,
and access.
content is still number one.
If I'm paying for it,
if you're paying for it, yeah.
I'm not paying to network because
Interesting.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm not paying because I'm not a great networker. I hate networking.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know,
it
Same
sounds
here.
so.
I need to
I
force
can see
myself
that.
through it,
I
but-
can see John. I can see that in John.
yeah,
John is like a don't bother me
exactly.
kind of guy.
Mm.
He's like, ooh, shaking hands.
That's
Nah,
really strange because I
I'm
can't
not
seem to get rid
doing
of
it.
them. So I don't know what
I'm
that
not
is all
doing
about.
that. I think no. Once you let him into your inner circle, it's like a relative that comes
Rash.
over and says this thing for 2 weeks, and then you can't kick him out. That's John right there. When
Oh,
he
is that
becomes your
it?
friend. When he becomes your friend. Yeah.
So all right,
That's
so
hilarious.
him it's for John it's content, then networking. For Luis, it's networking. And what's the order?
I think networking and sales,
Okay.
and then the
Sales
content for me is
So content is like a losing thing here. People aren't going to events for content.
Not really.
Well, the content
because
you get
there's
anywhere.
so
Meanwhile, I'm with Louis.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, because everybody has a podcast, everybody has a
Yeah.
YouTube, everybody
Mm.
the problem now I feel like with movie stars and celebrities is they're no longer celebrities anymore because of access.
wow.
You get to
Wow.
you
That's
get to see them in their living room, you get to see them working out, you get to see them everywhere. So it's like,
Mm.
you know,
Mm.
So
I
that
don't
tarnishes the star
Not
Yeah.
the star, but the
Well,
I know
the
what you're
lore,
saying.
the lore,
Yeah.
the lore. Like it's
They're not
not
as big as they used to be.
Michael.
You're right.
I don't think Michael Jackson would be Michael Jackson if he was
If it
Michael
weren't for
Jackson,
that.
and not and no nowadays. If Michael Jackson was nowadays, like if he was like young Michael, before the hair got burnt, and and then he's coming up, and like he wouldn't be Michael. Michael Jackson became Michael Jackson because of like the halftime show, the
Bubbles.
the
You
Mm.
got to throw bubbles in there.
All the weird
the
stuff
bubble. Oh yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like
that
Michael
he did
Jordan too.
intentionally.
What differentiates him from a Taylor Swift apart from the gender thing?
Oh, that's a really good point. You know why,
Don't get
Thomas?
yourself caught
Because
here, Thomas.
no. Thomas made a really good point, and because I saw Taylor Swift, she was scheduled to do a concert in Argentina,
Mhm.
and her concert was supposed to be in the stadium is called Nacional that holds 100,000 people, and Argentina, the national team, was gonna play that same night,
Uh-oh.
and
Oh.
with Messi.
Mm.
Oh,
And they moved the
Wow.
game. They moved the game to
Hey,
another
Because
stadium
yeah.
they
because
because
moved
Taylor
Messi?
Swift,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
in his own country. When I heard that, that was like insane. I was
Jeez.
like, Argentina in soccer, and the team had
Mhm.
just won the World Cup.
Mhm.
But no,
What?
Taylor Swift's concert had to
She
Yeah.
beat
go,
all of that out? That's crazy.
So
I
now
in their
talking
own
about
country.
celebrity. Now talking
Yeah,
about celebrity. So
that's a really
no,
good point.
Messi is a celebrity in Argentina. He's like the celebrity in
yeah,
Argentina.
Messi is too. Yeah.
but he actually said movie stars
Mhm.
to
What do you
begin
mean?
with.
He
No,
started
no,
off
no.
with
I was
movies.
just
That's
talking. No,
true.
I was
No,
just
I'm
talking
just
about
saying
celebrities
movie
in general.
stars
Yeah.
are on a different level than they
Mhm.
used to be.
Oh, they absolutely are. And I think, well, we don't need to go into a whole other conversation, but
We always do.
well, that's true. But so I think YouTube, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm a big NBA fan. At the end of one of these games last night, there's a player. His name is Patrick Beverly.
Oh man, yeah, that was sad.
Did you see that? Okay, so
I just saw a clip. Well, he did. He messed up twice.
he did two things. I'll
Yeah.
focus on. So one of the things he did, they lost. They got bumped out of the playoffs. He was angry, and the fans are giving him the business, of course. And this guy's got a very short temper, so he literally took a basketball and threw it at a fan.
Yeah.
He,
That was
he
like right behind the bench.
Yeah, right behind it. He threw
Ooh.
it. He missed the guy he was trying to hit this young girl upside the head.
Oh my
And he
God.
threw
Oh, I
it
didn't
hard.
see that part.
You could see her head go like this. And
Oh
then she went
wow.
down like that. So he does this. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you.
He
The
meant to
person
hit
next to him
somebody.
the person that he meant to hit threw the ball back to him. And this clown threw it right back at that guy.
Oh my gosh.
And then his teammates kind of got him. So that was the one thing.
Hmm.
The press conference after the fact, around when he was sitting in his locker, they have all the scrum of reporters. So this one female reporter starts to ask him a question, and he's like, I got to cut you off right there. Do you subscribe to my pod? She was like, no. Well, I'm sorry, you can't ask me no questions.
Ooh, okay. Really?
How many people have podcasts nowadays?
Everybody.
No.
So is everybody supposed to subscribe to everybody, every little podcast out there? It's so stupid, but you're right. The reaction videos to this Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing, I don't know if you've been on here or seen these, but there are like thousands of no-name people putting out they have to put out their reaction to this thing. So when you see the Rick Rosses and the other folks doing the reaction, who cares? It's like everybody else is doing it. So you're right. These so-called stars, the stars that were stars, real stars like 10, 20, 30 years ago, they ain't the same kind of stars they were.
No,
But I'll tell you who does a good job at it right now. Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
you can't see any
goat.
Dave Chappelle does not post. Dave Chappelle, and even on his shows, he does the. I don't know if have you guys been to I went to a Chris Rock show, and they make you put your phone
the
in a
phone
pouch.
away. Yeah.
In a pouch like it's a secure pouch.
Yeah.
And you can't. Nobody's recording. And so that's where like Dave Chappelle, when he does these specials, it's like this is the only he's speaking. He's like, oh my God, he hasn't spoken in a while. He's not sharing his content. And sometimes it's interesting because, you know, when you're doing podcasting, it's all about creating content. But sometimes you have to create an allure and it increases your value. It's like supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know who has done that? Who is from our era, like the 90s to now? Michael Jordan. He
What about
is
him?
still talked about probably more now than he has ever been. And you will
Because
never
of
see him
LeBron.
post anything. Yeah,
Well,
he
because of
doesn't.
LeBron, though.
Right. But
That's-
he, like I
that's-
said, but he directly, Michael Jordan doesn't have a podcast, never had a blog, doesn't have a YouTube channel.
But he has shoes.
But he has
And you
shoes.
can buy them if you want. If you want a piece of Michael Jordan, you
Yeah.
can get them. You're gonna
Yeah.
pay some money for it, but you won't
Yeah.
get a conversation with it. You know.
Yeah.
Do you know
Hey,
Michael Jordan gets 5% of every shoe, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
He still makes 400 or 500 million a year
Exactly.
off his
Mhm.
Nike.
Well, that
Hey,
was
don't
his
let that
mom. That was his mom, though, according to
is
the
mom.
movie.
Absolutely.
That was his mom, according to the
Mhm.
movie.
He's smart.
But gentlemen, I got to jump off.
All right, brother.
I project. I don't mind coming back on if you guys don't mind having me. I love doing this.
That's fine.
And in all jokes aside, man, John, I love you, man. It's been a while, and thank you for having me. And let's stay in touch, man.
Awesome, brother. We
Take
definitely
care, man.
will.
So,
Nice meeting you.
see
Take care,
ya.
guys. Bye.
That was cool.
All right, yeah. Well, that took us really to the top of the hour, anyways. No, this is good. This is good stuff because, like I said, me and Paul Greenberg are going to do an event in November, and we don't want it to be like the typical enterprise event. We want to try to have some fun with it, and maybe I'll be asking lots of people for stuff. But this has been helpful.
Streaming it,
Yeah.
streaming the event. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be
Well,
doing
do not stream it until you sell the tickets.
Yep.
Then let them know, hey, we're going to stream.
No, we're gonna let them know. We'll let them know. But anyway, no, this has been great as I head into like conference season. It's gonna be interesting.
Awesome.
It's gonna
Anyway,
be,
well,
continues to be.
Yep. So thanks to Thomas for jumping on with us.
Yeah. See you.
Yep. And we will probably not be around next week because I think I'm going to be in Miami here doing something. Miami. Is this a good time of the year to go to Miami? Or is it already like hot and humid?
No, you're still good.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. You going anywhere?
Nope, I'll be here.
Oh, how about that? What a turn of events.
Why?
Usually you're the one that's gone and I'm the one that's, chilling.
Yeah, well, we have different seasons, bro.
Different seasons.
Yes, my season is during the blossom season.
Oh, when things are blossoming.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
So we'll see.
Anyway, we will see. But anyway,
Yes.
thanks
See
to
you.
Luis and Thomas. Have a great weekend.
Later, folks.